Right, it was almost be a quaban from Brad, 2 kidneys and blood soon, or YouTube, so I say, I was for you as usual. And some Ahua, a person organizing, and the best of my hair for any team for you. And some can say no. And similar between you and say, and call for be a can send me, if you a church and send me more. I think say Alban Bagbin, Sam almost on an egg and no. And Chimola between you and say, Alban Bagbin, and Kevin. Nina say, and call for which you say, Alban Bagbin. I an Adrian, I say, or she share a coop, and the tia a year, your mum paying out just what to say, John Mahama. I'm not saying, and Chimuga between the Nina, a camera boys, and some way, and young pray. Sounds no good or a parliament and simply a course over man. If a majority for the side, representative, Yapapodisa, and Semina, and Chimu, Eddie Abeba, Babetinas, and some of them come. Meso Swadarma, who winning because we have subscribed here. Now, was subscribed to my channel. We at the we are now the bell notification icon. So afterwards, next time we are dropping video on Sabeka video be end 10. Everything go video meeting at the Parliament.
We were fortunate to last the whole term of 4 years. Yet, the ignoramus in the country say that was the worst parliament they ever experienced. But this is one of the best parliaments we ever experienced. We were able to now change the score for our oversight. We always marked the lowest in West Africa when we deal with oversight. When we are dealing with passing laws, because of mob action, you just go in, and it's passed. This one, we took our time and we were able to hold the executive on many issues to account.
Speaking to MPs' research assistants in his office, the Speaker said he and the MPs swore oaths to protect and defend the Constitution and would exist to do just that.
There's no other institution mightier than Parliament in a democracy. Not even the executive. I draw your attention to it by even looking at our constitutional provisions, by saying that the members of Parliament, with 2/3 of their votes, they can remove a president. In the case of a speaker, 3/4. It was more difficult to remove the speaker than the president. It's in the Constitution, 1992 Constitution. And when I raise such things, our friends in the media will go and put it that, oh, the president, the speaker is planning a coup. He says he's more powerful than the president. And so the first reaction of the president, hey, let's look at his security and other things. And my soldiers became a casualty.
The research assistants presented a citation to the Speaker for his exemplary style of leadership and accomplishment.
Acted by Assefua's reasoning. So you see, they are just making this complaint.
To just Okujeto.
But Okujeto is there.
But the others.
Why? Martin Kpebu.
And
by virtue of being in this committee, he's become a public officer. He is not receiving salary. You see, as a public officer, it's not always that you receive salary. In any case, we had a finance minister who, for 7 years, told us that he served as a finance minister without receiving salary.
Oh, but he was making money from every.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Much money.
I agree, but for the sake of argument.
Yes.
So when they lose the debate, then they make very whimsical arguments.
Data bank.
So the argument that oral is not back in law, perhaps they fail to avert their mind to the Whistleblowers Act. If they had done so, they wouldn't have gone to town on this matter. But let me continue. Operation Vanguard, Operation Galamstop, all this. There were private people who helped them in identifying the mining sites, the Galamsey sites. Were there not private people who were assisting? All of us were encouraged to assist the committee, Operation Vanguard, Operation Galamstop, to succeed. So people were leading them to the forest areas to point out where the illegal activities were carrying out. So by Assefua's reasoning, it was illegal. Again, the gold for oil or oil for gold, whichever.
The gold for oil.
Or gold for oil or oil for gold. Why is the law backing that program or that policy? We've taken our gold and given it to people to supply us oil. There's no law backing it. But we implemented it claiming that it will help to stabilize our currency. The currency is at 16 point something to the dollar. So this issue, we were here in this country. When the government came into office freshly in 2017, they took issues with an existing energy agreement, the Ameri Plant Agreement. They set up a committee, the Lawyer Addison Committee. They traveled to Dubai at UNI's expense. Where is the law backing that committee?
And Akufo-Addo ended up pardoning it by $800 million.
You wait,
$800 million.
Where is the law backing the Lawyer Addison's committee? Just like a committee that has been set up to do some work. Where is the law backing Addison's committee? They traveled to Dubai, spent weeks and came back with a report. That led to the dismissal of Boakye Jaku from office. Where is the law? Where MPP, where is the law backing the work of that committee? Because it was done by presidential fiat. Now, you are building Agenda 111 before you left office. Where is the law backing that project? So when the government rolls out, when the government is given a mandate to exercise, and the government is rolling out its programs, if you cannot suggest constructively, don't question its legality, because it's neither here nor there. In fact, some of the criticisms is becoming ignominious. It's humiliating, the kind of criticisms.
Becoming what?
Ignominious. They are falling into ignominy in some of the issues they are raising about this matter.
Well, they say they are not against accountability. It is how you are going about it that's the issue.
Yes, for instance, this oral matter arose or erupted at the the appointments committee because the honorable Dominic Aini made the point upon a question from my roommate John Daku that he said somewhere, his reporter, he said somewhere that he will bring back the public tribunal system. All right.
It was a manifesto promise, was it not?
Good. No, he said he was reported. Then he linked it to our manifesto and questioned what the legality. No, it wasn't John Daku, it was one other lawyer. I forgot his name. I know him very well. He's in Parliament now. So then Doctor answered that, but this was our manifesto promise. In any case, it's backed by law. Don't have any of it. We are not in a coup regime. So this coup regime rhetoric is something they all, I'm sure there's a platform. They say just go and talk about coup regime. That in PNDC, the CDR, PDC and all that. And yet in the Constitution, Article 140, let me see, I think it's 142. With your leave, quickly. Because you see, they try to bastardize everything when really the law backs what is being done. In the Constitution especially. The Constitution, Article 42, 142, 1. There shall be established in each region of Ghana such regional tribunals as the Chief Justice may determine.
So it's upon the determination of the Chief Justice.
That is the Chief Justice that creates courts.
May. So she's not really.
No,
he or
it
she's
says
not bound
the
by
shall. The shall. 2. A regional tribunal shall consist of the Chief Justice, 1 chairman, and C, all that. In our Courts Act, as variously amended in 202 and 203, from in sections 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, that's part 4 of the law. It's a whole provision on the work of the regional tribunals. Their trials and all that, appeals, when the decisions are made, all that. So whole regime.
Hold on a bit for me.
No,
I'm just making an announcement. I put out earlier, the last 15 or so minutes we've been off Facebook. I see so many of your messages on that. We're back on Facebook now. Apologies for that break in the transmission on Facebook, but we're back right now. We've been streaming on YouTube all the while, so apologies. Yes, please.
Yes. So the establishment of regional tribunals, it's a matter that's grounded firmly in the Constitution. In fact, we should be asking the Chief Justice, why should I refuse to do her constitutional duty under Article 142? We should be rather posing that question to the CJ. So it appears that the NPP is, well, there are some senior officers of the NPP, as soon as they hear anything about tribunals, they fall into a state of trepidation. They fall into a state of trepidation.
You think so?
Trepidation. Otherwise, why would anybody be talking about we are not in a coup regime? Me, my property, I lost my property.
You lost your property.
Was that a coup regime?
You lost your property to what?
I lost my property.
What happened?
One dawn, 1 midnight, between 12 midnight and 2 a.m. Some operatives, in military regalia and police regalia, fully hooded. You couldn't see who was who.
Hey. They had covered their faces.
Yes, fully hooded. Armed to the teeth. Came with some persons. They claimed to come from. They came from state housing. That me had built on state housing land, government land, a land that I was given by chiefs that I did legal work for. Young man in the law, 2010, 2011, and was building.
So this happened
in June 2017.
2017.
I love Yabuabia Samoa for one thing. He stood by me. He was supposed to have traveled to Kumasi that morning. He didn't go. He stood by me, made every call possible in the world.
He was MP for Adenta.
Yes.
So this happened in Adenta.
Yes, Frafaha. Nobody will listen to him. So he asked me, you Roxanne, whose toes have you stepped on? God, this thing. And they demolished houses of my other colleagues who are also NDC guys. The chap I share wall with, who is an MPP, when they touched his wall, he made a call, they left his house. As I speak, the place has been cordoned off. We heard that they were about to give it to, they were giving it to some Chinese people. It's there like that. 8 years.
And your house was demolished.
Was that a military regime? It was not. Other people.
Did you seek to find out who these military persons were?
I took evidence of the military vehicle that came, the model, the number plate. I inquired from the military. I sent the evidence. They said this vehicle is not known to them.
The vehicle
that was with military armor plates and painted in camouflage. That's how it's called.
And the military said they don't have records of that.
Yes,
in their armory.
Sorry?
In their fleet.
Amongst their fleet of vehicles. But it happened. And when the then CEO, I hear he was brought from the US to come ahead. When he appeared before the public committee, he had no answer. We went to court. So people suffered. People were in their vehicles. At traffic lights, they will be dragged out of their vehicles and the vehicles taken under the suspicion that it was a state property. So like I said, you should be lucky you have Aura that is doing this decently, methodically, and just inviting information from people. You should be thanking your God that you have Aura. And that our boys are not on a rampage, beating people up in offices or dragging them from vehicles and other properties they suspect belong to the state or have been converted as a state property. So by all means, let us provide suggestions to make orals work better. But don't make the mistake that and submit that it's unlawful. I've been to court over 10 times in the past 8 years. The Supreme Court mostly, and the High Court. If I disagree with a matter, I make my point, I go to court. I lost some, I won some. Some too, judgments are outstanding. Whether they will be delivered, I don't know. The judge is done. He's waiting for a certain directive before he can deliver judgments. I can show you letters. So, for me, Aura is properly anchored. The attempt to, as it were, bastardize these operations won't hold because they are on terra firma. They should do their work. By all means, pay attention to their mandate. My brother John Daku, pay attention to the mandate of Aura. It's not a tribunal. It's not.
It says no serious government will entertain Aura. That's
you see, it is not. It doesn't lie in John Daku's mouth to say it's no serious government will entertain Aura. It's a government program. contained in our manifesto, and we are rolling it out. We are gathering information. You've just been told that they receive information from nearly 1,000 people. 1,000
petitions actually came.
Yes, you see, the law says